I worked for Russel Simmons. Not to send shots at him, but when I met him, he was eating fried chicken. But in the public, he telling people he a vegan. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing yoga. But then and women are saying he raped them. You know what I'm saying? So people say these things, but in reality, behind closed doors is something else. So you just learn like, oh, that's just a part of the show.
So what they basically saying about Russell, because Russell Simmons the other day was talking about black people, y'all shouldn't even have nothing to say about me when y'all support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Because he feels like, yo, he did. But basically what I took from it was like, you basically saying you did sexual assault stuff, and because he did it, there shouldn't be no bias on you. So basically what he did is basically he confirmed it pretty much.
Well, yeah, because there was another interview where he said he was on drugs a lot, so you don't really remember that time. I forgot where he said that at, but he said that too. And back then, a lot of people were doing coke and stuff, so he probably don't remember. He's an old man. He probably generally don't remember. Like, damn, I guess I did do that. Who knows, you know? But he, Diddy, Russell, and look at Bill Clinton sleeping with Monica Lewinsky. It is common practice for millionaire men to take advantage of their power. I believe everybody do, including women. But, everybody got to put up a front, put on a show, act like this, but deep down, they're really opposite. There's only one man, in my personal opinion, that's ever proven he was somebody that stood tall on the things he believed, and that was Malcolm X, because that's why he died. Think about it, not to come at the Nation of Islam, but think about it. If you know the story of Malcolm X, he found out Elijah Muhammad was having sex with young girls.
That's right.
Because Elijah Muhammad's son told him that. Now, most people would say, hey, if I knew a very powerful man could destroy my life tomorrow, because he said it on 60 Minutes, if you could pull up the clip, he said, I was a dead man walking the moment I found that out. They're not going to go tell the public. They'll say that on Instagram and Twitter, but if your life was on the line, you're lying to yourself. And the same thing happened with Tupac. I think he was just in a conflicted situation because the narrative is, the real story is, supposedly Haitian Jack raped that girl. But Pac was in the room, but he walked out of the room. And he said that himself. But if you're talking to a murderer, it's easy for you to say, oh man, I would tell that murderer, you can't rape that woman. You're lying. You would find a way to say, let me get out of here. Like, not that I agree with it. I'm saying, like, just like Cameron said on 60 Minutes, if I knew a serial killer was living next to me, I would move. You're not saying, oh, I'm going to confront the serial killer. I'm going to tell the police. Now your life's, at harm. So
there's probably a lot of stuff going on in the industry that people don't really want to talk about.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the world people don't want to talk about. Conflict diamonds, conflict chocolate, conflict cheap clothes. There's anything that's cheap. It's because people are working for nothing to make it cheap for us. And Vice Media did a whole story on how we as Americans support child pornography.
How's that?
Because we buy cheap clothes. Anything cheap made in Taiwan, Cambodia, all those countries, those mothers have to sell their kids to make a living. Because Walmart and Kmart are not paying them to. Nobody ever asks, how is this so cheap? How is something from Louis Vuitton so expensive, but then Hanes or Fruit of Loom can make the same white cotton t-shirt and it's cheaper? Even not Coca-Cola, but the cola beans that they use to make Coca-Cola, all that stuff everything has drama in it. Everything has its issues. And whether you know directly or indirectly, you have supported causes you might think you're against, but indirectly you supported them through like what you buy. If you want to get married, you support blood diamonds. The Africans ain't getting rich off of it. So you think a woman gonna be like, oh man, I want my husband to buy me a plastic ring to show he love me. No, she want a big, nice diamond ring. And she don't care how many kids has to die to get that ring. It is what it is. And if anybody want to challenge me, go to these countries and see for yourself. Go to Africa, go to Mexico, not to the beach or whatever. Go to the ghettos, talk to the people, because I do. When I travel the world, I want to see the good life, but I also want to see the reality. And then the more you learn, you come back home and you go, damn, man, people are really out of the loop with the things they think represents positivity and all this. It's just, everything's
Well,
fake.
somebody may say, well, you say that, but you're wearing chains right now.
Yeah. And my chains are fake, by the way. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. My chains are fake, by the way. They're not real. I would never. First of all, it's stupid. It's a diamonds are not rare. Anybody that doesn't know the story, the Bear Group runs the diamond trade, and they created this illusion. Did great marketing.
We can't skip that. So explain that a little bit.
So the De Beer Group got with a guy named Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays in the early 1900s created propaganda. He created the concept of public relations, PR, so to speak, and he came up with two marketing things that helped everything out. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, and diamonds are forever. And then he created the theater of like a woman doesn't know you really love her unless you buy her a diamond ring. He started all that with them. And a lot of companies have worked with him, Betty Crocker, all these big companies. He's the reason we eat eggs and bacon for breakfast. He pioneered that with companies to make people think this should be a social norm. Smoking cigarettes, he put cigarettes in movies, so he would associate it with sex. Back in those days, you always see people smoking cigarettes more after a sex scene. So he was responsible for public relations. And they came up with this narrative. But the point is nowadays, diamonds you can get lab diamonds and they're the same thing. They all sparkle the same way. I'm gonna speak for most black people buying diamonds to shit on a poor black person. It's not like a rich white person give a fuck you got diamonds on. You just want to shit on niggas in your hood.
I heard once that they market more towards black people with these kind of things. And that kind of explains why white people don't really care about diamonds. And so being that we flaunt and flex, how many people do you think actually really have diamonds? Like real diamonds versus just labs?
No, a lot of people don't. As Tyrese just came out on the Breakfast Club, Ocho Cinco, I work with a lot of artists. I mean, even 50 Cent, he admitted that G-Unit spinner, he had two. One was fake, one was real. Young Buck got robbed in Chicago for the fake one. And some people, Rick Ross, a lot of them have admitted that because you want decoys in case something do go down and you do get robbed for it, well, they got the decoy. But it proves the point of they're all the same. It's just like water. What's the difference between Fiji and Poland Spring?
The name?
Just the name. What's the difference between a Tiffany diamond and a Jacob the Jeweler diamond?
The name.
You're just paying for the name, the branding. And branding came from cattle. Meaning like, if I had a cow, you had a cow, in order for me to know the cow was mine, I would brand it and put Great Scots Cow. That's where branding came from. Doing our horses and pigs and chickens like that. That's where it like started, and now it then turned into more stuff. But things evolve.
Well, so what do you think about the fact that Dior, Louis Vuitton, they're marking these prices up at dramatic rates, but people somehow still feel the need to purchase these items? And the artist relation to these type of brands, and it trickles down into the lowest level of blacks, and you got kids that don't have nothing to their name ready to rob somebody over a pair of Mary jeans.
Well, if you ever want to win in life, like controlling the human mind, is you prey on somebody's vanity. So Instagram is good at that. And that's why women are addicted to Instagram, because it's preying on their vanity. They need that validation. We all seek validation. How we go about it is different. A Muslim is seeking it through God. Whatever. Some women are seeking it through OnlyFans. I don't know. For men, our vanity a lot of the times stems from showing we have resources in security and stability. For women, for maiden purposes. That's why you wear a watch, or we drive a Ferrari. You don't really see women driving Lambos and Ferraris. A man is, because he wants to show, I have tons of resources, like a peacock. So that's what fashion understands. Human beings are no different from the peacock, and everything that's trendy is based off who's having the most sex, and that's also based on who has the highest social status. So if Kim Kardashian is having sex with the top prominent men, at least through TV or whatever, then women go, I need to start getting a BBL so I can get the top prominent men. It's so like, you don't even realize you're being conditioned to believe that. Same thing with men. Oh, if I wear a chain, I get the hot girl. If I drive the Ferrari, I get the hot girl. And Ferrari and them know that. So the Rolex knows that. You know what I mean? Like,
so basically none of this stuff really matters. It's just the person, it's just the way you perceive it.
As you see I'm just gonna say Jay-Z and Kanye West, that's what, as you see, the more money they got, the broker they look. They're not wearing a bunch of chains and jewelry. You can Google it. Kanye look more crazier than ever now. He's walking around barefoot these days, It doesn't matter. It's just like a suit. You get a suit from Men's Warehouse, or you could go get a $10,000 suit from Tom Ford. You just want to, it's also just to create conversation. So if I drive a Range Rover, I'm trying to show without saying it, I'm up here. I'm higher than you. I'm this, whatever that brand represents.
Now,
That's why we're so brand hungry.